We'll call this meeting of November 27th, Jamestown City Council to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Sheldon.
Here.
Brackman. Here. Ruba.
Here.
Reynolds.
Here.
Faulkner.
Here.
Eklund. Here. DeVersa.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
President Dolph.
Here. This time, we'll ask people to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for the invocation, which tonight will be delivered by the Reverend Dr. William Blair of the New Creation Assembly of God.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray with me. Our Father, into your hands we commit our city and its citizens. It's to you we give praise and thanks. This past week we celebrated your goodness to us in our various gatherings with precious friends and family. And now as the holiday season fully envelops us, there are many concerns that we bring to you. The needs of our people, our community celebrations, the Christmas parade, the a cappella choir, the annual Nutcracker musical, the youth ballet, and the many festivities in our schools. May these community gatherings and the many special events in our local churches be an enriching source of delight and spiritual warmth for our people. Lord God, give us peace in our city and prosperity for our people. And as city leaders make plans for our welfare and move forward in the business of the evening, let your good hand be upon us. Give these our leaders wisdom and grace to make the decisions necessary for us to rise above circumstances and challenges set against us. Cause us to be of one mind and one heart as we seek the welfare of Jamestown and its citizens. We thank you for all that you have seen us through, for your protection over our schools and our children, our police officers, firefighters, and public utility workers. Cause our city to rejoice in your light, and may your blessing be upon us tonight. We thank you for your divine care as we enjoy hope, love, peace, and joy in this your city. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. This time, we'd like to have approval of the minutes of the October 30th, 2023. So moved by Councilwoman Ruba. Do we have any messages from the mayor?
Dear council members, in November 2023, we have welcomed 5 new employees to the city of Jamestown. Trevor South, Department of Public Works; Bradley Grinnell, Jamestown Police Department; Joshua Ellman, Garrett Franson, and Clark Wiltsey, Jamestown Fire Department. I am asking that these new hires be acknowledged and welcomed to the city at the November 27th, 2023 City Council meeting. Very truly yours, Edward A. Sundquist. We have one appointment this evening. Council members, in pursuance of the authority vested in me by the charter of said city, I do hereby nominate Timothy Jackson, 16 May Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701, to be reappointed Chief of Police, Director of Public Safety in and for the city of Jamestown, New York. The term for which said appointment is to be made will expire December 31st, 2025. Edward A. Sundquist.
Thank you. That will automatically be tabled unless there is a motion to suspend the rules and vote tonight. Otherwise, it will be tabled until the December meeting. Okay. We'll be acting upon that in December. At this time, we give opportunities for persons to address the council. If anyone here would like to speak to the council tonight and address the council, please step up to one of the 2 mics and give us your home address and limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Is there anyone here that would like to address the council this evening?
Hello, my name is Marie Voss. I live at 33 Clyde Avenue in Jamestown. I have been a resident of Jamestown for over 30 years. Last winter, my husband Edward and I volunteered at Joy Fellowship Church's Code Blue warming shelter. We worked the 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift twice a week for most of the weeks that they were open. Joy Fellowship is a tiny, poor church with a big heart that agreed to open its doors to those who have nowhere else to spend a winter night. We got to know the guests. We offered them coffee, food, and clothing. There are about 12 volunteers from my church, Zion Covenant, who helped to staff the warming shelters so that it could be open 7 nights a week. Zion's volunteer coordinator, Kathy Hall, is with us tonight too. This year, Joy Fellowship didn't receive the funding to be able to offer overnight accommodations. It's my understanding the Mental Health Association was to receive all the funding, but they're not able to open their facility at the Gateway Center. So my question is, where can a Code Blue shelter be established to give safe shelter to the homeless in our community? This winter, Joy Fellowship will offer programming and a meal at daytime warming shelter on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It is imperative to have a place for folks to spend the night safe from the frigid temperatures. What are the plans to address this need? You cannot wait till some poor soul freezes to death sleeping outside before you act, and winter is already at our door. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
Anthony Toda. My address is 144 Clifton Avenue, Jamestown, New York. For over 20 years and under the terms of Mayors Teresi and Sundquist, I have made complaints about excessively loud vehicle noise, speeding, and reckless drivers. Both mayors, Teresi and Sundquist, stated to me that they would address these issues with their police chiefs to rectify these issues. And at least 3 Jamestown police chiefs, Rader, Snellings, and now Timothy Jackson, have refused to resolve these crimes. Because of the hundreds and perhaps thousands of vehicle and traffic complaints that I have made in this 20-plus year period, and almost always getting the same response of all clear, no violations found, it can logically be deduced that, number one, the Jamestown police are lying to me about enforcing the law, which is a crime. Number two, the Jamestown police and other law enforcement personnel are allowing these crimes to continue in a deliberate attempt to aggravate and entrap myself, also a crime. Number three, the Jamestown police are using wanton, gross negligence in retaliation for my right to complain under the First Amendment. And that it is the intent of the Jamestown police to permit crimes to victimize myself. So besides your own responsibility for these negligent and criminal acts, who is motivating you, Chief Jackson, to repeatedly act in this truly illegal, bizarre, spiteful, and irrational manner to destroy my rights under the law? Please respond to that question after my allotted time to speak. As for the mayor-elect, Ms. Eklund, who has seen my evidence of police misconduct that I previously presented to this council, I am demanding upon officially becoming mayor that you remove Chief Jackson as chief of police and replace Mr. Jackson with a police chief who has the regard for enforcing the law.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
Can I respond to that, please?
Sure.
We hired a nuisance officer who has been doing their job along with the other police officers. They have issued numerous tickets and violations for speeding, noise, loud mufflers, some on repeated violations. And I understand your frustration, but we do not have enough police officers to be everywhere in the city at all times to catch everybody doing these things. We would love to have more enforcement, but they're doing the best they can. There are many more instances of crimes and things going on that take much more priority over loud noise and mufflers. And unfortunately, the speed, even with reducing traffic lanes, it continues. We would like to see that stop, but until every citizen in this community recognizes there are speed limits, there are noise ordinances and everything else, this is what we're going to be dealing with. So I want to applaud the police and Chief Jackson for everything they've been doing over the years and everything they have done to try to reduce the noise and these complaints that all the citizens receive, especially the 4th of July, fireworks, and many other times throughout the year. So thank you, and we appreciate everything you're doing, and I just cannot sit here and let it go unnoticed that you are doing your job and we're doing everything we need to do. So thank you on behalf of myself and the people that I represent.
else who would like to address the council this evening, please step up.
It's got access in the 402 park. I've changed it in my winter mode, no longer wearing shorts. Pool guy is going dormant for the winter. There's been a couple things bring up. I know the homeless issue is big in terms of local issues. They addressed something with the Joy Fellowship. There was an article or a letter to the editor about maybe contacting Lutheran about the all of a sudden open bed space. It'd be interesting to see if there could be some cooperation for this coming year. I know where they're located may not be the ideal location, but it seems that what they have right there could be something useful to allow to solve a short-term problem and maybe a long-term issue rather than sending people to Buffalo or to other locations. So I think it would be interesting to see if there's, with some ARPA funding left, if there's a way to try to see what could happen with that possibility. There was another article in the Post-Journal today about the two $30 million projects, JCC and the College Stadium, which I talked about before, and also the YMCA. And I've been talking with a couple different people about those projects, not directly in terms of the people always involved, but it just seems that there should be more cooperation in the city between the two Ys, Boys and Girls Club, JCC, and those type of facilities that kind of overlap a little bit to see if a city of our size, which has limited resources, could be able to work together more to share some of the facilities and not keep trying to build a new empire, new location, which often happens with our school districts. Every time they get state funding, they build bigger, bigger, and bigger and better, and then how do you merge? Because now who's got the better facility? Same thing can apply to these other facilities in the greater Jamestown area. So it would be nice to see some cooperation going forward between these entities to see how they can better share services and try to work in the community to benefit everybody in the community. People, kids, taxpayers, anybody, just to make it simpler. And the third thing is just simple. Scandinavian Festival has moved to Jamestown, to the ice arena. This will be our third year coming up. I'm on the committee. We work heavily with Keith and those people over there. Coming into this next year, we're going to expand it more. It's going to be the 20th and 21st of July. There was an article in the Norrköping Swedish American newspaper back in the fall. Mayor Sundquist was the 11th Swedish mayor of Jamestown. Mayor-elect Eklund is going to be the 12th Swedish mayor of Jamestown. So we have a history of being the most Swedish mayors of any city in the U.S. And we always appreciate your support and what you guys have done to help us out. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's a great thing, and we will be happy to be back at the Northwest Arena this coming July. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a point to answer your question about the collaboration. I know that the different boards, there has been some discussion between college, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, and they have looked into the possibility of doing something like that, but the coordination of that is very difficult, but they have looked at that. As someone who sits on the board of directors of the YMCA, there'll be more to come, I'm sure, in the future on that. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council?
This is my first time here coming to this committee, and
Do you have your name and address?
my name is Kelly Langworthy, and I reside at 509 West 7th Street. And my question or my idea is that I've got an idea and a project that I've have told people, like gone to meetings, and one of the questions I have is I know there's a lot of buildings that are not being used, they're not being reconstructed, and I understand we don't have a lot of money because a lot of these projects are going to take upwards to $1 million even, because we have to make sure that everything is thoughtfully planned out and everything, but there's a lot of land here that I've learned that is, has to be redeveloped because they had an old factory building that maybe went down, and now the land isn't good for growing the neighborhood, garden, or we can't have people there because, like, and redo the building because there's so much that goes into it, but it starts at the ground level. And people think we can have an idea and this is easy, but, and I know the money and everything, but my idea targets like helping our homeless and our children and some of the adults in the children's lives, because they're gonna be the ones running the show in the future, 30, whatever years, and I'd like to, you know, see some help for them. And I'm just wondering, what can we do for, to get all this land that's sitting in Jamestown and around Jamestown, what can we do to get it redeveloped? And are we, have we looked into that? And have we thought about that, building up and utilizing what is just sitting around Jamestown? I know there's a lot of money, but, and we'll have to get grants and maybe we can get sponsors and big names involved, but I think it starts there, and I'm just wondering if you, that's my idea. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on. Do we have any presentations of petitions or communications this evening? Move on to the reports from our standing committees, and we will start with our finance committee. And the first two resolutions will be sponsored by Councilwoman Karuba.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution authorizing payment of the regular audit.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
Diversa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution accepting a donation from Rand Precision Machining Company to the Jamestown Police Department in the amount of $5,500.00 for the purchase of new equipment, including a breaching ram drone and simunitions equipment. And I'd like to note that the council extends its appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the citizens of Jamestown to Kurt W. Grimm and the employees of Rand Precision Machining Company for the generous donation. And I believe they have donated in the past as well, so we thank them for their continued
Thank you.
donations.
Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
Diversa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye. The next resolution will be sponsored by the finance chair, Kim Eklund.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution lifting the hiring freeze to allow for the hiring of a domestic violence advocate position in the Jamestown Police Department. This position is vacant as the result of a resignation.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
Diversa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye. We'll now move on to our public safety committee, and our first resolution will be sponsored by Councilman Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution reappointing David P. Minari to the office of Commissioner of Deeds for a term of 2 years.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
Diversa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
And President Wilson.
Aye. Our next resolution will be sponsored by the chairman of the public safety committee, Councilman Sheldon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution authorizing the Board of Public Utilities to install one new 150-watt equivalent LED fixture at the following location: pole 38255 on Van Buren Street.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
Diversa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye. That concludes our pre-filed resolutions. We'll move on to, is there any report of special committees? Any reports from city officers? Any reports from council persons on administrative areas?
You always look at me.
As you always have.
I certainly do. I'd like to announce that the Fenton Historical Society will be holding a special presentation that the McClure Museum in Westfield has donated some very memorable items from Governor Reuben Fenton. And it will be, unfortunately, the same time as a lot of events are going on downtown. It's either 2 to 4 or 4 to 6, but I believe Councilman Reynolds and I believe it is 4 to 6 p.m. at the Fenton Historical Society. So if you're able to attend, or please go down there sometime during the day on Saturday. You'll be very impressed to see what they have. And anything you can do to support the Fenton.
He's looking at the time.
He doesn't believe me. It was changed to 4 to 6. It was originally 2 to 4.
Mine said 2 to 4, sorry.
What is it?
2 to 4 mine says, and I got it today.
Well, I don't know. They had 4 to 6
We'll
on
call.
the other announcement. So stay tuned, either 2 to 4 or 4 to 6. But please attend, or if at some point go down to the.
This sounds like a funeral home.
It's
time.
also.
2 to 4, 16.
It's also decorated for the holidays for Christmas, so
It's
if you get a
very nice.
chance, please go down and enjoy the Fenton.
And just for the record, we always have to note that
Yeah.
Reuben E. Fenton is your great,
Great,
Great.
great,
great, two greats.
yes.
And a lot of the stuff that's being displayed from the county museum, the Fenton wasn't in place in the 50s. So when I had a cousin, Cecil Minturn, pass away, a lot of the stuff went to the county museum and to the City of New York Museum. So it's good to see some family stuff back in the city where it belongs.
Good. It's not in your basement.
Well, I got it good.
Is there any other reports from?
That's it,
council
for me.
people?
Good job.
All right. We do have one item under unfinished business, which is resolution number 5, and it will be sponsored by Councilman Reynolds, or Troy Russell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a local law amending Chapter 270-2 of the City General Legislation to increase the maximum income eligibility level for persons 65 years of age or over. And that does increase that amount up to $22,000. And I appreciate everyone's support on this. And I'm sure this is going to help some of our senior citizens here in Jamestown.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
Just to note, that's consistent with what the county is doing, correct, Jeff?
Correct, but there are some discussions on the county level. They possibly might be increasing theirs even higher. I don't know where that stands now.
As a suggestion, if they should raise it, then we should also look at it or review it again at a later date.
I concur.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Brackman?
Aye.
Karuba?
Aye.
Reynolds?
Yes.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Eklund?
Aye.
DeVersa?
Aye.
Russell?
Aye.
President Holmes?
Aye. We'll now move on to new business. We do have a few items under new business. The first resolution or new business will be sponsored by Councilwoman Karuba.
Thank you, Mr. President. Be it resolved that Officer Emily Foy be and hereby is authorized to attend the November 2023 Drug Recognition Expert DRE Certification Training at the Homewood Suites in Poughkeepsie, New York from November 27th through December 8th, 2023. She is also authorized to attend the second portion of the training at the Rock Ministries in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania from December 10th to December 17th, 2023. All expenses will be paid by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Brackman?
Aye.
Karuba?
Aye.
Reynolds?
Yes.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Eklund?
Aye.
DeVersa?
Aye.
Russell?
Aye.
And President Holmes?
Aye. Resolution 8 has been pulled for further investigation and discussion. We'll be looking at it next month. The next resolution will be sponsored by Councilwoman Eklund.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a resolution adopting the 2024 general fund budget.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Yes, we need to post the amendments. So with pleasure, decrease the police department A.9551.0500 capital, decrease $41,870, and the cut is to purchase only one unmarked car.
Thank you. Any Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye. Any other questions or comments?
I
Yes.
do. I have a decrease to Corporation Council, A.1420.0100, salaries, $12,542.90. And this is a decrease in the raise amount percentage brought forward in the executive letter,
Thank you.
which you will see in a lot of amendments.
Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
And President Dolce.
Aye. Any other questions? Yes.
Amendment to increase the IT services, A.1680.0428, maintenance agreements, $9,000.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman. Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye. Any other amendments?
Yes. I'd like to introduce an amendment to decrease the engineer, A.1440.010, salary line item, $3,900.00.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Bill's having a problem.
Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an amendment to decrease the city clerk, A.1410.0100 salaries, decrease $6,842.00, which decreases the raise to 2.5%.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye. Any other amendments?
Yes. I'd like to introduce an amendment to decrease the controller salary line, A.1315.0100, $14,831.25. Again, decreasing raises of appointed positions to a 2.5%.
Thank you. Any other comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye.
An amendment to decrease the mayor's office, A.1210.0451, dues and subscriptions, $3,000.00.
Any questions, comments? Clerk, please poll the council on this amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an amendment to increase IT services, account A.1680.0454 for travel and education in the amount of $1,500.00.
Any other comments or questions? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dolce.
Aye.
I have an amendment to increase the police department, A.3.120.0499, other supplies and services, $7,000.00.
Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
And President Dolce.
Aye. Any other amendments?
Yes. I'd like to propose an amendment to decrease the rec administration department, account A.7020.0100, the salary lines in an amount of $12,000 and no cents, and this includes a reduction in the stipend and an administrative assistant salary.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dole.
Aye.
I have an amendment to decrease the capital outlay, 8.9551.0500 sidewalk maintenance, $50,000 and no cents.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dole.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to propose an amendment to decrease in the mayor's office, account A.1210.0454, travel and education, $4,000 and no cents.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dole.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an amendment to decrease the Human Rights Commission, A.8050.0400 contractual services, $5,000.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dole.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an amendment to decrease the real property tax revenue line item by $250,000 and no cents. And to explain that, we had some questions about some of the assessments, some reductions in assessments that came in, the increase in the senior, and also some of the demolitions that are happening now and coming. This was arrived at that number, and again, as I said upstairs, I'm sure Joe will be reviewing that and making sure with Lisa that we are accurate in that number, but that's how we arrived at that.
Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
President Dole.
Aye.
And finally, I have an amendment to increase the fund balance allocation, $113,513.85.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Clerk, please poll the council on the amendment.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
And President Dole.
Aye. Are there any other amendments come forward this time?
No other amendments, but if I could just say something real quickly. I know that's a little bit confusing to everybody what just happened here. The allocation from the fund balance still maintains it as a zero tax increase to the general public. I do want to thank everyone, including the mayor, the staff, this council, for working through this, listening to everything, going through things. It's not easy, especially when you have new people and they're still trying to learn the job, and understand what's going on. So thank you for your patience, and hopefully there will be nothing in 2 weeks, but just in case, I appreciate everybody's diligence for the next 2 weeks. As Joe looks through that, if he has any questions, please work with him to get the answers we need so that tax bills can go out in a timely fashion.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? If not, the clerk, please poll the council on the amended budget.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Aye.
Brackman.
Aye.
Karuba.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Eklund.
Aye.
DeVersa.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
And President Dole.
Aye. Budget is passed for 2024. That concludes all of our resolutions under new business. Is there any other new business? Just a couple of brief comments. I just want to mention that obviously this Saturday is the holiday parade. It starts at 6 o'clock. It'll be over across the Third Street Bridge, similar to the previous years. So hope to see a good crowd. Right now, the early weather looks pretty good. It's supposed to be 40s, partly cloudy that day, and hopefully the evening won't be too chilly, and we won't have 2 feet of snow to trudge through, but it looks pretty good, so everyone's welcome for that. And I just want to thank the Reverend Blair for mentioning all the other, as we move into December, all the activities that we do have in our community, different church groups and school groups and concerts and all sorts of events that are happening between now and the end of the year and the Christmas and holiday season. So appreciate you mentioning that. A couple other things too. Councilwoman Eklund just explained kind of the process of what happened. These 15 amendments that were put forth tonight. These 15 amendments that were put forth tonight were a culmination of, over the course since early October when the mayor puts the budget out, we interview the department heads, go through each department, and they kind of tell us their concerns and problems, and we go through that and we look at that, and then we make decisions, and all the council people put some effort into making some recommendations, and then we vet those out and make sure that they're doable. And so this is the list that was brought up, nothing too earth-shattering here. Again, using a little bit more of the fund balance, and still a lot of unknowns. As you know, we just finished, Joe Bolito had come back to, former controller, to close out 2022. And so now he's going to take a look at 2023 and this budget 2024 to make sure those numbers are accurate. And so we're going to give him 2 weeks to look at that as well. So there still may be some minor adjustments, hopefully not too much major problems coming forward, but we still have some time. And again, the time frame is the tax bills would have to go out. So that's what happened tonight. These were the 15 that were brought forth by several members of the city council. I just wanted to thank the entire council for their work, their diligent work on this, questions asked, emails, and especially Councilwoman Eklund, who's finance chair, and going to be switching chairs here very soon, so it's going to be falling in her lap even more of a priority moving into 2024. Do want to thank the mayor and his staff for cooperating with us and answering questions and getting us the information we need. So it's always a very difficult process. It's always people can always argue this, that, and should we cut this? Should we add to that? Everybody has their priorities and their agendas, and so you try to balance it off with the needs of the community, and then also it's very important what our taxpayers can afford. So this is still a no tax increase budget. We just kind of rearranged the furniture a little bit internally in there, and hopefully not too much more some changes in the next few weeks. And I also wanted to thank all of you for coming tonight. It's nice to have people in the audience. Many times we have these meetings and there's 2 people here, and it's nice to have an audience and we can interact and people can ask questions, and certainly if there's any other follow-up questions that you would like to talk about, you can see us after and talk to us. But we welcome you back, especially on a cold, snowy night. It's nice to see concerned citizens come out. We encourage that at every meeting. So with that, is there anything else? If not,